Who's a fan of creepypasta? Like the website creepypasta that is filled with horror legends. Not like pasta noodles that are creepy. There's nothing really scary about that. But anyways, as a result, the internet is filled with scary urban legends. Hey everyone, welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Thanks so much for clicking on today's video. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and today I will be counting down the top 10 scary internet urban legends part 2. If you haven't already, go and check out part 1 for this video and let me know if you guys want to see part 3. There's tons more internet urban legends that I would be happy to talk about. Starting off at the top of our list, we have Mr. Widemouth. Now, this creature looks like a mixture of Furby, the Cheshire Cat, and a gremlin. It has a large mouth with sharp teeth, crooked ears, and glowing eyes. Apparently, Mr. Widemouth befriends kids and tries to convince them into doing dangerous tasks like harming themselves. It is said that he will hide underneath kids' beds and come out when their parents aren't around. He is nice to the children to develop trust before luring kids into danger. Honestly, I'm scared enough of Furbies as it is, so no thank you. Moving on down, at number 9, we have the Facebook messages. This legend surrounds a man whose deceased girlfriend was contacting him through Facebook. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg has the power to connect people to the afterlife too. This story has been circulating the internet for quite some time, and people still don't know what to think. So, a man named Nathan posted the story along with the messages he shared with his girlfriend. Apparently, on October 7, 2012, his girlfriend Emily passed away in a car accident. 13 months later, Nathan started to receive messages from her Facebook account. He claimed that it was only him and Emily's mother that had her account information. The messages started out with Emily repeatedly saying hello. Nathan first dismissed these, thinking that Emily's mom was just accidentally messaging him from her account. But these messages persisted. Then Emily tagged herself in Nathan's photos, even though she wasn't even present in the photos. Then Emily started messaging Nathan what seemed to be random sentences like "cold out," "I don't know what's happening," or "garage side door." But these in fact were just recycled messages from their chat history. Now, Nathan didn't know what to think. He didn't know if it was just a hacker or if his girlfriend was trying to contact him. He even contacted Facebook and they told him that the only locations where the account was being accessed from was his house, his work, and Emily's mom's house. This continued on for a while until one day he was sent a photo. It was captioned "freezing" and showed Nathan sitting at his computer. This photo was taken from outside of Nathan's house. Freaky. What do you think of the story? Do you think that it was just some messed up prank or something more supernatural? At number 8, we have Bride and Go Seek. I love a good game of hide and seek. Honestly, as a child, I was so good at it, and now I wish that it was like a normal thing that adults can do. Like, imagine getting a group of people together and playing a giant game of hide and seek. That would be super fun, right? Well, not in this next case. After getting married, a bride and groom decided to play the typical post-wedding party game, hide and seek. Now, they had the wedding at the bride's big childhood farmhouse, which was perfect for hide and seek. Now, the groom was it, and the bride wanted to hide somewhere where he wouldn't be able to find her. As a result, she hid in an old trunk in the attic. Now, there are 2 variations to this story. One said that when she got into the trunk, the lid hit her and knocked her unconscious. She died of suffocation. The other variation says that the old lock was rusted over and she couldn't escape. Either way, she passed away in the trunk after no one was able to locate her. Several years later, when her dad went to the attic to clear out some things, he found his daughter's decaying body. Moving on to number 7, we have 8 feet tall. This is a creature also known as Hashuku-sama. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Basically, this creature is super thin and tall. Just as the name suggests, it is 8 feet tall. Now, she appears to be an attractive woman on the outside, but she is far from being human. This creature is known to trick and abduct kids. It is said that anyone who sees her is doomed to die in the next few days. She is said to have long black hair and is typically seen wearing a white summer dress paired with a wide-brimmed hat. In fact, she tends to attract children by comforting them and by making herself seem like a trustworthy adult. People also say that she can mimic the voice of their parents to try to trick the children. In our 6th spot, we have the basement coins. This next legend will teach any child not to steal. Basically, it surrounds a group of troublemaker boys. These boys often would commit petty theft, they would smoke and drink. One day, the leader Tyler had the idea to break into an old rich guy's house and steal his collection of valuable coins. They snuck into the man's house and made their way into his basement. Now, they did find the coins, but one of the dudes also found a bunch of horrific paintings. These paintings were gruesome and depicted torture. One picture was of a woman being burned alive. The other was of a man getting his head burned by boiling oil. However, there were multiple other disturbing paintings. Little did these boys know that these paintings were about to depict what was going to happen to them. The house owner caught them and he proceeded to rip out one of the boys' tongue. The other boy was pushed into an Iron Maiden. Now, one boy managed to escape, and when they reported this to the police, they found a full torture room in his house, and that was filled with mutilated bodies. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Tommy Taffy. If you hate creepy dolls like Annabelle and Chucky, well, maybe this next story isn't for you. This story surrounds someone named Tommy Taffy. Tommy is described as being 6 feet tall with short golden hair. His skin is completely smooth. He has no pores whatsoever. He needs to drop a skincare routine right now. He is almost plastic looking. He also has piercing blue eyes, a perfect row of straight white teeth, but they're all the same size. So basically a human Ken doll. Now, Tommy may sound like a friendly man, but he is quite the opposite. He's said to come into families' homes and will stay for 5 years. If at any point you disobey Tommy, you will face the consequences. You have to do as Tommy says and obey his rules at all times. People that have stood up to Tommy have been severely injured, some even dying as a result. Also, there have been multiple attempts to get rid of Tommy, but no matter what, he will continuously show up at their home. Coming in at number 4, we have EXPRESSIONLESS. This story takes place in June of 1972. Hospital employees were terrified when a mannequin-looking woman entered the hospital in a white, blood-soaked gown. She definitely did not look human, which is the main reason why the hospital staff were so scared. Now, this woman was completely calm, motionless, and even expressionless, hence the name given to her. She started acting up when the hospital staff tried to sedate her. She fought back, looked at the doctor, and smiled. This revealed that she had long, sharp spikes instead of teeth. The doctor screamed, was killed by her, and the one thing she said after this was, "I am God." At number 3, we have ANNORA Petrova. ANNORA, or Annie, was a successful ice skater. By the age of 13, she was the champion of the Crystal Classic skating competition. Now, Annie decided to Google herself the day before the competition. That was when she discovered a Wikipedia page of herself. Upon reading it, she noticed that it said she won the Crystal Classic. But that competition wasn't until the next day. Well, this page predicted the truth, as she won it. This page continued to accurately predict Annie's success as a figure skater. So she was convinced that whatever is on the page will come true. That led her to edit the Wikipedia page, and she wrote that she won the Olympics. She hoped that this would also come true. However, she found that the page was edited again, but this time it read, "Annie is selfish and is going to get what she deserves." From there, her career took a dark turn. Another day, it said ANNORA Petrova is a pathetic little orphan whose real parents died in a terrible accident. Later that day, her parents passed away. The last thing that was written on this page was that she died October 24th, 2010. This also came true, and she was found dead on that day, hunched over her computer. In our second spot, we have COVE. As children, we love watching cartoons. I always loved getting up early to watch Scooby-Doo. Let me know down below what your favorite childhood cartoon was. Now, COVE is apparently a television show that some people watched when they were kids. This story started with one user by the name of SkyShale033 making a forum post asking if anyone else remembers the show COVE. This user claimed that they had vague memories of the show and wanted to know if it was just a local show or if anyone else remembered it. There were then hundreds of responses claiming that they too remember the show. Apparently it aired in the Kentucky, West Virginia area on channel 58 at around 4 p.m. The show basically surrounds a girl named Janice and her imaginary pirate friends, which were puppets. Upon talking about the show with each other, they realized that the show was much darker than they realized. Apparently, there was a character named the Skin Taker that was a skeleton with a cape made out of children's skin. Then, people also remember an episode where the Skin Taker was screaming the whole time and Janice was crying. Now, the creepiest part about this is when the user Mike_Painter65 shared his encounter with this show. He said that he went to visit his mom in the nursing home and asked her if she remembered this show. The mother said she remembered it, and then stated that she was surprised that he still remembered it. She claimed that her son would say, "I'm going to go watch Candle Cove now, Mom." Then he would just tune the TV to static and watch that for 30 minutes. That is so creepy. So apparently, kids remember watching the show, but all the adults saw was static. I think someone is out there targeting and brainwashing children. And in our final spot, we have the Russian sleep experiment. Now, this next urban legend is quite disturbing, and some people are even convinced that it's true. So, in the 1940s, Russian researchers were conducting unethical tests on enemy prisoners. They had 5 people that they planned to keep awake for 30 days using a gas-based stimulant. They wanted to see the effects sleep deprivation had on the brain. So as a result, they were sealed into a chamber with a promise that if they cooperated, then they would get released. For the first 5 days, everything was fine. But after the 5th day, that's when things started to take a turn. Eventually, one of the prisoners screamed until he shredded his own vocal cords. As each day passed, more and more terrifying stuff started to happen. When they decided to open the chamber to check on them, they were horrified. The floor was covered in blood, and one of the prisoners was dead with some of his flesh throughout the chamber. Now, the other 4 test subjects also had parts of their body torn off, but this wasn't from them attacking each other. In fact, it was all self-inflicted. Even some had exposed bone and deep wounds. They were then going to give them medical attention, but all of the prisoners said that they no longer wanted to be freed. They also kept saying they needed the gas that kept them awake. One eventually fell asleep and immediately flatlined. 2 of the other prisoners passed away also, and the remaining one went on a rampage and claimed that these prisoners were the evil inside the human mind that is kept sane by sleeping. Since they hadn't been sleeping, it unleashed this evil. Yeah, I definitely will be making sure that I try to get at least 6 hours of sleep every night. And that's it for today's video. As always, give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below which one you find the creepiest, and don't forget to subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I'm your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I will see you in my next video.